Good morning, everybody. First One 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here. It is almost 9 a.m. on your Saturday morning. It's 8:59 here in about 3 seconds, so almost 9 o'clock. Today marks the beginning of what is going to be a prolonged and intense heat wave that we have that will be over the region for several days. Likely at least 7 days in the 90s are going to be expected. So for today through Thursday of next week, firstborn weather days are in place, and that's going to be for the extreme dangerous heat that we've got that's going to be building into the area here for the day today and will be continuing as we go through the next several days. So as for the most part, with all of these days culminated together, when we think about Saturday through next Thursday is when we have those firstborn weather days in place. The culmination of several days in a row, the limited amount of relief we're going to get through the overnight hours, this stretch is going to be uncomfortable for most of us. However, it is going to be dangerous for some. So when we say that, make sure you are staying hydrated this week, limiting your time outdoors. You know, today will actually be the more mild is the word I'm going to use, but really it's still going to be very hot and humid today. But the lowest high temperature we're going to see over the next 7 days is going to be today. So today is really when we start with that extreme heat. We do have an extreme heat warning that is in effect starting at noon today and will continue through Thursday. Heat index values of 105 to 110 degrees will be expected. Our northern areas are in extreme heat watch. Cloud cover may limit a little bit of that peak heating, especially today, because the chance for some rain and storms are going to be mixing in there. So today, 93 will be your high temperature, feels like of 105 to 110 degrees. So it is going to be feeling very hot, very humid. I think we're overall partly cloudy, 30% chance for some rain and rumbles as we go into about noon here in the metro, and then better chances mainly northeast for the rest of the day. Today, partly cloudy skies are expected. Here's a look at radar right now. As you can see, rain and thunderstorm activity mainly towards our northern areas at this point. Maryville over towards places like Marshall, Sheridan County is seeing some rain and thunderstorm activity. If we go in a little bit closer with this and turn on our sweeping radar, as you can see, we've got some spotty activity happening through Sheridan County. Not seeing any lightning with that, so just some downpours happening there. And then we are seeing rain and thunderstorm activity towards Trenton, Bethany, Princeton, over towards places like Albany, heading towards Grant City, kind of on the eastern edge of that county. So mainly our northern areas for the most part today have the best chance to see some rain and thunderstorm activity. Now, I think over the next couple of hours, we will see those temperatures generally going to be in the 80s, eventually turning into the 90s pretty quickly here, especially as we go into the early afternoon. Let's see if I can get this graphic working for you. We've been having some internet problems here, so we're manually updating our graphics. Let's see. This is the accurate information. Not quite. Let me edit this one more time. Okay, so bear with me here. Okay. So we have 30% chance until noon, and then it becomes 20 afternoon. Temperatures, though, by 11 are going to be in the upper 80s, and then we will be into the 90s once we get to this afternoon. So high temperatures today across the board between about 90 and 95 degrees. We're going to be situated at 93 here in Kansas City. This feels like temperatures of 105 to 110 will be possible. So let's dive into what we are going to see with this heat. So we've gone over today's high temperatures. I'll get into the chances for rain and thunderstorm activity at a few other times today here, but we're going to start off with kind of the overarching theme of the firstborn weather days that we have in place for the hazardous heat wave. So I mentioned heat index values of 105 to 110 degrees will be possible every day through Thursday. So that is, 6 days of heat index values of 105 to 110 degrees. It is going to be feeling very hot, very humid for a very long time. It's going to last at least that 6 days, but the 90s do not stop after that. They are continuing on. So this is going to be prolonged over the next, at least 7 days. And we're not going to get much relief when we go into the overnight hours. We'll take a look at low temperatures through the overnight, but near record warm nights, temperatures only in the mid 70s is what we're cooling off to. So not offering much relief there for the time being over this next 7-day forecast. 93 is your high temperature today. We are on a very steady incline over the next several days. We will go to 94 by tomorrow, then 95 on Monday, 96 Tuesday. So stepping up just about a degree each day. We then reach our hottest temperatures so far of what would be this year, but also of the week, 97 on Wednesday and on Thursday. Humidity values overall are going to remain in the muggy category here between about today and next Wednesday. We eventually maybe see some relief once we get into Friday, but overall the heat and humidity still going to be sticking with us here. It maybe fluctuates a little bit, but not as much as is what we're going to be able to tell to ourselves and what those actual feels like temperatures will be like. So for the weekend, I think in the metro, we're situated more around 105, at least for today, maybe closer to around 104, 108 degrees tomorrow. And then we really start to get the hottest heat index values as we go into the next week. So Monday, Tuesday, looking to feel the hottest, around 105 for Wednesday and Thursday. So when we think of this, for 1-2 days, it's hot. When we think about this for a prolonged period of time, at least 6 days of temperatures feeling like the triple digits, it is going to wear on your body, especially if you are going to be outside for prolonged periods of time. For those workers who do outdoor work, make sure you're being very, very safe, staying hydrated beforehand, during. It's something that we need to be watching, and that first warm weather day is our highest alert. So this is going to be dangerous for some, uncomfortable for others. If you are a worker that works outside all the time, this is going to be dangerous. So please make sure you are staying safe any way that you can. So that's the gist of the heat and humidity. There are a few small chances for rain here and there. There's the chance for rain today, tomorrow, and small spotty chances on Monday. So here's a look at the radar again. As you can see, mainly in our northern areas, pretty spotty to scattered, generally up along our northern border and out towards Sheridan County. So as we go through the next couple of hours, here we are. It's about, what time is it? 9 o'clock. Spotty activity remains possible between now and noon, then better chances to our northern areas between about noon and I would say 8 p.m. Once we go into the overnight hours tonight, here we are around midnight, we start to see some more chances for some rain and storms building in. This is generally going to be along and north of I-70 as well. This drops in around 1-2 a.m., will sink and move mainly east-southeast between about 2 a.m. and 7. Now, some of this could be strong to severe today. I think our better odds to see a strong to severe storm would generally be the evening and into the overnight. So there's a level 1 out of 5 severe risk highlighted in green for majority of our area. There's a level 2 out of 5 that just clips our northeastern counties, but damaging winds and hail, pockets of heavy downpours, heavy rainfall will be possible. I think this is mainly, as I mentioned, going to be in the afternoon and into the overnight, but we can't rule out a strong storm for this morning and into the noon time frame. Once we get to tomorrow, though, we still see the chance for some rain and thunderstorm activity, mainly in the afternoon and into the evening. I'm going to pull out our forecast here, our forecast radar. Okay, so here we are, Sunday at 7 a.m. Maybe some spotty to scattered activity starts to develop along and north of I-70 for the afternoon, dropping down by the time we get to about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, being spotty in nature, moving across the I-70 corridor, and then starts to push out by 8. So chance for maybe one of those to be strong to severe as well. We do have a level 1 out of 5 risk highlighted across the area for Sunday. So I think overall, I will say that the cloud cover, as well as that rain chance, may help us because it could be hotter today. especially if we didn't have any clouds, we didn't have any rain in the sun. It was just pure sunshine out there. So we aren't going to be as hot as some models are saying today due to the cloud cover and due to that small rain chance both today and tomorrow. So here's that level 1 out of 5 risk for Sunday. That's just mainly going to be for damaging winds as well as some pockets of downpours and heavy rainfall. Once we get to the 7-day forecast, no surprise here, the 90s across the board. And I mentioned once we get to Friday of next week, we see a slight dip in humidity, slight dip in temperature. So 94 as your high temperature on, or I should say, once we get to Friday. Friday will be 94, partly cloudy. A first warn is in place. It's not going to be as hot as the other days, and likely the threshold for that excessive heat warning will have ended by that point. We are watching Friday very closely. If it starts to trend upwards or change in any way, we'll be sure to let you know. But as you can see here, 90s across the board, a steady rise from 93 on Saturday today to 97 by Wednesday, and then we're back down to 94 on Friday. Look at those low temperatures remaining stagnant in the mid 70s, not offering much relief from the heat through the overnight. Keep in mind that while those temperatures will be actually in the mid 70s, it could feel several degrees hotter than that or warmer than that due to the humidity value. So not offering much relief during this heat wave, something that we need to take seriously. We've got several first warn 5 weather days on there due to the prolonged intense heat that we are expecting to see here. This is a heat wave that we have not seen so far this year. If you remember the last heat wave, which was a couple weeks ago, high temperatures were not as hot as we are expected to see here, and humidity levels were not as high as we are expecting to see here. So it will be hotter, it will be more humid than the last heat wave as well. So make sure you're staying safe, make sure you're staying hydrated, doing everything you need to do to keep yourself and your family safe and your pets as well during this very long stretch of hot and humid temperatures that we have that will start today and will continue into next week. So that's the latest update I've got for you this morning on your Saturday. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, stays hydrated out there, stays safe in the heat, and make sure you're taking frequent breaks inside if you are going to spend some time outside, at least over the next 7-day period. I hope everybody has a happy Saturday.